Okay, these are beaded irises in our garden, and they failed to flower this year. And the reason is that we've allowed them to become overgrown. They're all too close together, and they really need to be planted somewhere where they're much more in the open, so that their rhizomes can be in the sun and be baked, and that will encourage them to flower. So what we're going to do now is we're going to dig them up, and we're going to replant them in better parts of the garden, so that hopefully that will be that effect will happen. Roots. What we're going to do is we're going to replant each of them. We're going to cut them back down, so I'm going to look at how things are and maybe see if I can find a way to break them apart so they're in slightly smaller pieces like that. I've cut a piece off there. We've got some root with it, we've got some leaf, we've got a part of the rhizome, and what we're now going to do is replant them at some point. And to replant them, one of the most important things you have to do is, because when they're replanted, this bit has to stay out of the ground and only the roots is in the ground. At first they can be very easily disturbed by the wind or by anything and become unrooted again. So you have to take the leaves off and replant them like that with shorter leaves, so there's a far better chance of the roots being able to get a good anchor into the soil. Okay, so this is one of the rhizomes of the bearded irises which we've got out of the clump. We're going to put it back into this space here, which I agree at the moment doesn't look very exposed and open to sunlight, but that's only because it's quite late in the English summer here, and these herbaceous perennials will not be there early on the year when the sun is able to shine on this rhizome. So when I come to plant it, what I must do is I must get the roots in, because obviously the roots are the source of the plant's vitamins, minerals and water, but I must not get the rhizome buried. The rhizome needs to be out in the sun to help the plant to flower. So I'm going to push in the soil around it as much as I can to try to hold it, hope that the plant is well anchored. But the fact that we've cut the leaves off, hopefully, will mean that the anchoring will be less important, because there's less chance of it being rocked around by wind or anything else that might catch against it. So there's the rhizome exposed, there's the roots covered by the soil, and it's going to be planted in a fairly open space early on the year, which is of course when the bearded irises flower.